What is going on, everybody? This is Mr. ML Hat PhD coming back to you with another video. In today's video, you guys have known in the past that we have done a little bit of an anatomy of the hat. So it is time for another Professor ML Hat's class to begin. So today I have a 950 snapback. The reason why I'm deciding to mess up this Warriors one is, one, I got multiples of it, but also I got this at Lids, and I noticed that the button was no longer there. And instead of like returning it or anything, you guys do know that when hats are on sale, they do say all sales are final, so take a look at them. Obviously, I could have got it returned since I do work at the Blue store, but I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep it. And I thought it would be fun to kind of see what the overall like construction of a 950 snapback would be. Unfortunately, it is the Warrior, so there you go. This is called like the X Factor or something like that because they have this nice color taping on the outside of it. So we are going to get to work. We have our basketball Jerry West logo all in black on the background. This is a 100% polyester. It is made in one of our favorite places of China, so check that out. So let's take a good long look at this before we decide to mess it up, because as our buddy Professor Hatter always says, class is in session. The anatomy of a 950 snapback. Get ready for class, guys. Let's go! Alright, so we are all set up. So as a good doctor, you always want to have your tools with you. I forgot one. So in order for this procedure to go smoothly, we got our precision knife right there. I do need to change the blade, but works really good. So we'll have that. Always keep the cap on. Protect yourself, kids. The next one, we got our box cutter. Very nice one right here. This is a fairly newer blade, but yeah, let's switch it. Let's switch to the other side. So when we get into this procedure, we'll have a fresh new blade side. Actually, I might have already flipped it one time. No, we're good. Check it out. Nice blade right there. I use that at the red store. And of course, we have our scissors. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open it up. Now, you guys know don't take off the stickers, but obviously with this being a surgery, we got to remove all jewelries. So we're going to take off the sticker. Yes, I have no fingernails because I bite them, so we're just going to use the precision knife right here to take off the sticker. I got that, so there you guys go. One 950 sticker came off. I'm looking for something. Oh yeah, I forgot it's outside. I was looking for my hat display so I could throw that on there. So I'll put that right there for now. All right, so it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Going to obviously take off the price tag, and you're wondering why am I caring so much about the stickers. I don't know. Let's take this one off. I will save this sticker as well. I will put it on the board. There we go. I'll save that one. Put that one on the board. So, you know, I'm not really expecting too much compared to like other hats. Obviously, with this being a new era hat, you expect it to be of high quality and whatnot. But obviously the button fell off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the taping. As you guys can see, the taping is solely on the outside. So we are going to cut that off. So I'm going to get the precision knife to get right under there. Actually, there we go. We're just going to make some nice little slits there. I just want to see how hard it is to kind of pull off and go all the way down. Is it glue? No, it's actually stitched on. If you guys can see that, it's actually stitched on there, so that's actually good. I was thinking that maybe it might only be stitched in a few spots and that the rest of it would be glued on. This one, it's not working. We didn't call it the big guns. When you're doing surgeries, you always got to have multiple options, of course, just in case you're current cutting material. Now, I'm kind of being a little hesitant on trying to cut this only because I want to not cut the crown itself, if that makes sense, even though it will get cut eventually. I'm just trying to see how tough this lining is. So as you guys can see, this is a good sign that you guys know that they stitched this on. Okay, now we can rip it off. And it actually looks like, if you see right underneath, it's actually tucked under the front paneling. Let's cut a little bit of the brim off. cut those little strings there. There we go. We're going to get a little bit of that brim right there going off because I want to see how far this goes down. So they actually, you know, did a really good job in here of stitching this on here. So that is actually good to know. All right, so as you can see, it goes all the way underneath. Not bad. There we go. We're going to just cut it off. So very good construction on this part. There we go. I pulled it off. And that's how the rest of the hat is going to be. So we're just going to take the rest of this off as well. But I'm actually very, oops, accidentally. See, this is what I was trying to prevent. I was trying to actually be careful and not cut the actual crown itself, but too late. Now the button was supposed to hold it all in place, but obviously with the button off, it made it really easy to take off. Let's just rip this off here. Got it. So really like the fact that this was not glued on. They did a really good job constructing that right there. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the other one. We're going to take off the snapback. Now, if you guys are very efficient in repairing hats, you guys could actually save the snapbacks, because the snapback itself, if you guys have seen most videos, it goes into about right here, this little area. That's where we're going to cut into. And you could actually save the snapback if you wanted to. So if you got like a busted snapback on your hat and you want to fix it and you want to get like ingenuity into it, this is how you would do it. You'd either buy a snapback, I think you can kind of buy them, or you could take it out of an older hat. Take it out of an older hat and fix it that way. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and let you guys know what I'm doing and still let you guys see what I'm doing. So here we go. We took out the snapback part right here, and you can see that this is, what does it say on the snapback? It says I don't know, win-win. Interesting. I wonder if that is the company, whoever manufactures these snapbacks, but I don't know. So now you could actually use this on another hat. So if you need to replace the snapback, there you go. Take that part off. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're just going to cut the holes down here. The strings, I should say, not the holes. Cut the holes, cut the strings down here. You could also probably pull it out, but we're not trying to break it. There we go. I don't know why I'm trying to be somewhat careful, but I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Alright, so we're going to take this out. Love how they have it all stitched on there, so it's good. That's good emphasis of them doing it. Okay, so this is actually still in really good shape, so if you guys want to use it to make a snapback, you can. It does say 01 to 1, not sure what that means. But if you guys ever want to know what your sizes are, I've mentioned this in the past. If you look at the back of a snapback, and I'm not sure if it is that way with everyone, but it does say that if you're going up to the first hole on your snapback, it's 7 1/8, and the next one says 7 1/2, 7 5/8, 7 3/4, 7 7/8. So if you guys ever want to know what size you guys are wearing, look for a snapback that has this on it and try out it. I usually, obviously being a 5/8, I'm always the last two. So if I am not using the last two, or you know, two left, whatever, that's my size. So if you're curious to know what size you wear and all you have is snapback but you want to get your first fitted, check out your snapbacks, see if they have this measuring little stick. This will give you a good idea of what size to wear. But of course, you guys remember to always try the hat on in store if you can. If you're ordering online, just be a little cautious, maybe go up a quarter size unless it's already loose at the next level because you're an in-between size. So there you go. So we got the snapback off. All right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the sweatband now that we could flip it all up. Check that out. So very good on the sweatband. You can see how thick it is with the sweatband. So that is a good job. It's supposed to soak up that sweats. There's also a little cushion right there on there to keep your head comfortable. I'm going to use the scissors on this. I should be able just to kind of clip it off a little bit and then kind of rip off the sweatband. There we go. Maybe not. Okay, so we're gonna, let's cut off the bill actually first. That way it'll be a little bit easier with the sweatband. So, all right, so we're just gonna, nice little cut here around the top. All right, obviously with the front brim or the brim itself, it is stitched on the whole thing. That's why you have all these like little linings here. This is the stitch pattern that the machine stitches through. So when we tear off this covering, it's going to be all holy and everything, and you're going to be able to see the brim and everything. So this is just like a covering, and this is plastic right there. So we're just going to cut that off. Make sure I don't cut my finger off. See, I've already actually cut off. If you cut the brim fabric on top, we're gonna pull off the fabric, and you can see that they actually used a white stitching. I wonder if they use different colors. I know in the past I've seen black, and now this is a white one. I wonder if they actually switch off the colors, if they have multiple colors on the stitching. But I really like the extra stitching that they do in this. I mean, there's a couple hundred stitches on this. Let me try to get under here, because this is a very tricky spot, because like I said, all the stitching, there's a few thousand stitches on this front brim alone. Yeah, it's not easy, guys. It's not as easy. That's why this is called the anatomy of a 950. And since we don't care necessarily about the fabric, we're trying to get to the brim. Let's just, there we go. There we go. Got it all off. So there is the brim. Now let's continue to try to take off the top of it. Now that I have it off, I can work a little bit better, because I can cut up instead of down, which is what I want to do instead. I don't want to cut down. But I feel like this is a very good stitching job. So look at that. Just, you can see... You can see the stitches coming out, or the fabric, and once we get a little bit more of it off, it's going to come off way easier, because it's like I say, it's very done. Look at that. They literally, now I don't know if when they stitch this, if this is a whole paneling that is free of holes. I would assume so, and then it just follows the thread stitching line here. Now for curiosity, obviously I'll speed this up, but should we see how many stitches are on here? But I will speed this part up, but I will let you guys know. This might take a minute, so let me just get all these little strings out here. I am really curious to see how many stitches are on here. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up a little bit. Basically what I need to see, so I can see the stitchings. And I want to see how many. Put a comment down in the comment section. How many stitching holes do you think is actually on here? It looks like I could get a good count. This one's not going to get counted right there. That's not an actual hole. That one's a hole. That one's a hole. These ones are up here. We're going to count these. This one's not a stitch, but we're going to count these ones as stitches, but not these ones. Okay, so all right, put your guess. What do you guys think? How many stitch holes? Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26,
27, 28 in that first little group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pen right here. 28. Let's count the next ones.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,
34, 35. 35 on that second line. So that is a difference of 7 stitches. Let's see if it continues that pattern. Got a blue Sharpie. Alright, let's check out the next one. That's a plus of 7. Next line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38,
39, 40, 41, 42, and that beginning one could have been a little misconstrued. I'll say 42 because I'm seeing a little bit of a pattern right there. So if the next one is 49, then it increases by 7 stitches each line. So let's check out the next one. So we're on, so we already did this line, we already did that line, we already did that line. We're on line 4. So the prediction is 49 on line 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45,
46, 47, 48, 49. So another increase by 7. Now on the previous one, you're saying like I'm cheating. So here is the one that we had in question that I was asking you that it may not even count per se. So check it out. It's like right, I'm sure you guys don't really care, but it's like this one right here was the one that was in question on the 42. Was I supposed to count that? Was I not? I originally counted it, but once I started seeing the pattern, you know, I decided not to count. So this one had, the next line had 49. So the next one should have 56, because if you just add 7. So let's check this one out. Now, if that seems to be the case on this next one, I think we're safe to say that each one just increases by 7. So let's see here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6. 56, and you do have a little bit of a questionable stitch, but it looks like their machine is set up. As you can see, I drew a little circle around there as the questionable stitch, so hopefully you guys can see that. So it looks like the machine is set up to increase by 7 each line. So this is 56. So just estimating, like I said, based off the pattern, the next one is going to be 63 because that's plus 7. Next one is 70 because that's the 7th line, but that's okay. The next one, so if this is 70, this is going to be 77. So overall, we have a bunch of stitching. So now let's see what our actual total on the stitch count is.
So let's do a little math on the back here. We got 28, 35, 42, 49. You see how easy this is? 56, 63, 70, and we had, what, 77 was the last one?
Add those up now because I'm a boomer.
We got a 5 and a 10 for this. 15, don't worry, I'll fast forward this for you. 15, and we have a 0, carry an extra 1 here, so we got
30, 0, so carry a 4.
4, 6, 8, 9, 13, 17, 22, 28, 35, 42.
All right, so you see the grand total. There is 420 stitches, I guess, as you say, on the front paneling, at least for this 950. So that is actually very impressive. That shows that there's some work done in this. And then, of course, as you guys saw from tearing off the top of the taping, there was some extra stitching involved there. So now we have is the crown. Obviously, it has the inside tape. Here is where the button kind of holds it in place if the button was on there. So you can see that right there. Let's get that. There's where the button would be, or the bottom of the button, I should say. So let's just tear off this lining. The lining is usually in here. It's connected to the hat. There's not a huge, you know, stitching with it. We are going to cut down the middle. Let's. I'm actually not going to cut down the middle. I'm going to cut around the logo of the Warriors here so I can kind of preserve it a little bit. And I just want to see something here in just a minute. All right, so we're going to cut that off. Now let's get the rest of the sweatband off here. So we got the sweatband off and the tags. Okay, we got that off. All right, so on the inside, oh, that's interesting. On the inside for the Jerry West logo, you can see that it's all red and blue in the background because it looks like they had to do like double stitching because they had to go back and forth. All right, so let's open this baby up. Now I'm going to be a little bit careful. Okay, it'll rip pretty easy now that it's already, nope, I broke it. That's okay. All right, so obviously in the sweatband, I wonder what they use. I won't do it because the hats are just too much. But those Jackie Robinson with those nice velvet sweatbands, those are really nice. But if you look at the sweatband in this one, it just has a nice styrofoam little thing, soak up some sweat. Personally, I don't feel like these would do that great of a job because I just feel like once the sweat gets in here, it'll just be bacteriaed out and just be all nasty. So check it out right there. So, I mean, if you sweat a lot, this probably wouldn't be the hat to wear every day, because it would get ruined kind of quickly. Because once you get that smell in this kind of sweatband, you're not getting it out. All right, so, all right, we got a little Jerry West logo here. Let's see here, how could I take this off? Now, since I have something to actually cut on, I'm going to see if I can take off the stitching here. Or not take off the stitching, but just cut the logo off without ruining the actual logo. Okay, there we go. Okay, now that I have it started, I could just kind of use the scissors here. I hope you guys like these anatomy videos. I am eventually going to get a 9Fifty to cut up, and we're going to check that one out to see if it's a supreme quality. And then of course any other hat that I can find that's a different brand, I wouldn't mind picking up one of those hats as well to kind of cut up for our anatomy project. I know I took Professor Hatter's idea with Class in Session, but at the same time I've done these anatomy videos before, so that is why I am Professor ML Hats. Alright, so nice little Jerry West logo right there. Probably keep that. Now if I cut the outside of this to kind of just have the Jerry West logo, I'll end up cutting the string on this, or the stitching, and it will actually probably end up ruining it, so we won't do that. And the next thing we have is our New Era flag. Let's cut off this ugly tag. I'm surprised like nobody's really ever mentioned about cutting off these tags in the back, especially if you're not one of those people that care about the China made or polyester. I know I probably wouldn't do it, but I know a lot of people don't like it. And they do have like a little section where it looks like it would be easy to cut off, but there you go. In the back it's all whited thread. So let's take this one apart. Slip the precision knife in here. Probably don't even need that. I could probably just use this right here. So as you guys can see, once you cut it, the strings start coming off, and you could actually affect the front of the patch, the label. So we can take that off. Trying to see like how much of this I could take off and what it would actually ruin, because I do, like I said, it is affecting the logo or what's written on there. So let's see if we could actually take that out just for curiosity. Alright, so as you guys can see, I took some of the string out right there, so let me show you guys that. I tried to use the blue Sharpie to highlight the area, so I took out the white stringing, and you guys can clearly see that the wording is no longer there, made in China. Let's take this one out. That's why it's kind of fun, because to take these apart, because one, you know, the hat's not really doing anything for me. I have an extra one, but it was already kind of ruined anyways. And it was bought specifically, wasn't actually bought specifically for this process, but it turned out to work out good. That's why I didn't actually try to return it. There we go. Alright, so as you guys can see, by just taking out the white threading in the back, it'll start taking off whatever's written on there. Alright, let's grab the New Era flag. This one is actually stitched really good. Let's cut this one off. I'm just going to cut at the base of it. Like I said, I don't want to cut any of the threads. Alright, so what we're going to do is turn it upside down. There we go. There we go. Let's cut that off. And Hatter flies his W, I fly my New Era flag. So check out the stitching on the back of that. Not bad. Really good. And like I said, if you take out that stitching, you'll start to see the difference, and it'll come off. And let's get to the top of the brim. And here we go. We're going to pull this back. Now look at all the fabric. It's gonna be a little tight, tough to get off because of the eyelet. So let's do a little more messing around here. Because I'm actually cutting through the buckram part of it also. That's why it's being so tough, because the buckram part is the underneath of the hat in the front of the paneling, and that's kind of where all the main stitching goes. So if you guys can see it here, which you got right there, it's like a double layered, because there's one layer, there's two. It's just two layers, because here's the back, and they have it all stitched together. So sometimes they do extra layering depending, but let's see here. This thing is being a pain in the rear, and you can see that it only goes about halfway up the hat right here, and then you have the lining. So let's see if I can just take off the lining.
And then I'm gonna...
I ended up cutting that really didn't solve my problem. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to use this and cut away from you, as always. Really getting into this one, because on the previous ones I've done for the anatomy series, they've actually fallen apart actually really easy, which was not really surprised, because they're more of they were generic ass hats, and this is a new era hat, so at least I could see that for me there's quality involved. Now this was a little bit extra stitched with the X Factor / taping on the outside. There was extra stitching involved in that as well. So you almost got it where I can kind of show you the buckram really good. Got the button part off, or where the button was supposed to be connected to. There we go. See, the button and the eyelets kind of keep it all together. There we go, guys. This is like the buckram part. This is another part where they stitch it into so it holds the hat in place on the front of the crown. It's a very thick. I'm assuming this is the part that's probably made out of partly polyester along with the crown itself. This is actual crown. It's just a fabric. Nothing special. Durable fabric. So not bad. Now the one thing I wanted to take a look at before we end the video is you guys see that they have the Warriors logo right there. I want to see if I can kind of just take off the Warriors logo and just kind of keep that little part. Or will I ruin it? So the first part is the Warriors logo is going to be stitched in. It's probably going to be on the buckram, so I don't think I could actually take it off. But let's see if I can cut around it to see if that works. And this is the toughest part of the hat, is the front, because like I said, it's made out of the buckram part. So if I took off the buckram, since it is connected with the Warriors logo, it's going to actually ruin the front of the logo. So there we go. Let's just kind of circle it up a little bit. Obviously this isn't going to be the greatest cutting job, but you know. Alright, there we go. We got the logo right there. And you can't take it, of course, off, because if you take it off, you're going to ruin the logo. So check it out. There's the back of it. You still got some of this taping right there. Looks really good. So you can tell that this is, my opinion, this is a good quality stitch job. And wow. So overall, this was a fun experiment. There we go. Let's put our little pieces right over here. The last part I want to show you, this is the button. Now, you can, they say, I could have easily probably replaced the button. I'm really not sure. A lot of the times when the button kind of comes off, there's like another mount part right here, and the button kind of just attaches to the top, and I feel like that was missing it, but this is a different hat, so I don't know if they all go like this. This one obviously could have been just stuck up through the hat, so if this is the hat, I'm thinking that maybe it was stuck up through the bottom of the hat like this, and then the button would just be pressed right on top. But a lot of the times what I've seen is that this is actually a closed rounded mount top, and then the button will slide right on the top. But this one, like I said, check it out. So this hat wouldn't have really been safe to wear anyways, because this is actually kind of a sharp object. So there you go, guys. What we learned in class today, kids, is that there are 420 stitching inserts going around the front of the brim. So very nicely done on the, in my opinion, the quality or the manufacturing of the hat. The buckram is the toughest part of the front of the hat, of course. And the lining that was on the top of the hat was all stitched into place, which was actually very cool. So I want to again thank you guys for taking the time to watch this anatomy of a 950 hat. Hopefully I'll be able to do a dad's hat in the future. Obviously a new era dad hat. I would like to maybe do a visor. Obviously taking a line from the great Professor Hatter's class Hope you guys enjoyed class today, and if you enjoyed class, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit your notifications, so when class resumes, you will get notified. Thank you for watching. This is Professor ML Hats, PhD. Bye, everybody. See ya.